Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a little bit of a ZVP that I found on drop.sc. This is going to be a game on Bel Shir Vestige, and spawning in the bottom right position of Bel Shir Vestige as the blue Protoss player, we have ROOTpuCK. His opponent today, spawning in the top left position as the red Zerg, we have VTWhiplash. VTWhiplash is an American player who, actually, I don't know that he's playing so much these days. He's obviously still playing since this replay was from today. It was literally played today. But I know that he's doing a lot of casting these days. He was casting for Pro League now in Korea. So he's doing some of that. I don't know if he's planning on stopping doing professional playing so that he can go for the casting. I'm not really sure. But he's still playing a little bit. Obviously, he's playing on ladder at least. So, yeah, so we're going to have to see how this game is going to shake up. Now, we have something interesting going on here. VTWhiplash is going for, I think that was a 7 pool. I am almost positive that that was a 7 pool. So VTWhiplash is going to be putting on some early aggression on his opponent. And Puck is going to come in here. And will he see it? He hasn't seen it yet. Oh, whoop, needs to get up there. And yeah, looks like there he goes. Now he's going to see that the pool is completed. Now he is opting to go for a Forge fast expand here, and he's going to be throwing down the Forge here because his first pylon went down here. He's got no choice. He has to put that Forge at the front right now. So it looks like that is what he's going to be doing here. And we already see that 6 Zerglings are on the way, and my cat is meowing at me at the same time. Cat, you can't be meowing at me. You can't be meowing at me while I'm casting StarCraft. You're the worst kind of cat. Anyway, ignore the meowing of the cat in the background. This is just gonna be casual cast Monday, you guys. I just did another episode for 2-minute tutorial, so I'm kind of tired right now because it kind of took a lot of doing, and I had some problems getting it up. And then I was just like, should I cast a game today? It's like, I don't know if I really feel like casting a game today, but screw it, why not? Let's do it. Let's cast a game. But now I'm just like tired, so I'm just gonna casual cast this. Is that cool with you guys? I'm just gonna casual cast this game. Now, these Lings are getting into the natural expansion of Puck here. Now, what Puck has opted to do is to make a pylon in the main. Immediately after this Forge went down, he started a pylon in the main, and there's a photon cannon going in to the mineral line as well here for Puck. And now there are a couple of Lings that have pulled back to be able to deal with this probe, and in the base of VTWhiplash he is droning behind this, but I mean this is pretty much held. Like, Puck is gonna lose this. He's gonna lose this pylon, and I think yeah, he's gonna lose that Forge. He's gonna lose that Forge for sure. But if we check out the harvester count right now, we can see that Puck is actually way up, 21 harvesters to 12. So despite losing a pylon and a Forge, he's actually going to come out ahead in this just because he's going to be mining so much more minerals than his opponent. We do see a second cannon now coming up here for Puck, and he's now going to be throwing down the cybernetics core as well. So far just on 1 gas, and there we go, the natural expansion now going down here for VTWhiplash. So both these players just going to start to macro up a little bit. Gas Geyser has now come down as well for VTWhiplash, so he's going to start to mine a little bit of gas there. So most likely just going to be getting his Zergling speed up and then pulling off of gas. There's no need to mine too much gas unless he decides to go for some kind of big like Baneling all in. There are still some Lings in the main here of Puck, but this photon cannon is actually in a pretty good position where I think it's actually just barely defending that. Yeah. It is going to be defending that assimilator there. So VTWhiplash trying to find a little angle where he can try to get some damage done to that assimilator, but it looks like it is not going to happen as Puck is feeling pretty confident here. He is starting his warp gate research. 1 chrono boost is being used on it, but a stalker is being produced as well, and we do have 1 zealot already out moving across the map. So he's going to be able to scout his opponent and figure out whether his opponent's expanding or just hanging out. And as we can see, VTWhiplash has now opted to get guys off of gas now, and he's just mining fully on the minerals, but he's not even fully saturated in the main. And Puck is at such a good spot. He finally found a little position there where his Zergling can actually attack that assimilator and be alright. So he's going to do some damage there, but this isn't going to be a big deal there, as actually the Stalker's coming out right now, going to be able to deny that from doing too much more damage. Now the Ling speed is on the way right now, and we see 6 Lings in production right now. So this leads me to believe that I think VTWhiplash is actually just going to go for another attack, or it could be a reaction to this 1 zealot. 6 feels like a little bit of an overreaction to me because the Queen can almost deal with the zealot on its own. I mean, I guess he does know that the Stalker is out. The Mothership Core is now out. Both Stalker and Mothership Core moving across the map. In the meantime, a Pylon and a Nexus has gone down here. at the natural expansion of Puck, and he is mining on 2 gas as well. A Stargate now going down as well here for Puck, so he's going to be opting into a Stargate. He's got a couple of options for that Stargate. He could go into early Phoenixes and just get 4 or 5 Phoenixes, scout his opponent, apply some pressure, force Spore Crawlers, and then go for whatever other tech he wants to go for. But the other option is going to be to get down some Void Rays because he knows that his opponent is going to be behind in economy. Now, Puck is showing up here, and Zergling Speed is about to kick in, and I think once that kicks in, he's actually going to be losing this Zealot and this Stalker. Yeah, there we go. The Zergling Speed now kicks in, and it looks like he's actually going to be going for a little bit of a counterattack here. Some Lings have already made it down into the natural expansion there, and there are 3 gateways going down here, and these 4 Zerglings, oh god, are about to be joined by a whole lot more. There's a pylon going down in this northern position here, with the Mothership Core now being forced to pull back, and it looks like all these Zerglings are going to get into the natural expansion here of Puck. And does he have anything else going up? He's actually going to be throwing down all of these gateways. Yeah, he canceled these ones at the natural expansion. The Nexus did go up here, no cancel on that. And so now ooh, nice little move there by Puck. He actually surrounded his own cannon with his probes and then held position so that the Zerglings can't make full contact with that photon cannon. But now these Lings are just going to be pulling back out here and dealing a whole lot of damage to this Nexus, and that Nexus will go down. Now, worker count still favoring Puck. 32 Harvesters to 28, so he's in a pretty good spot in terms of Harvesters. But his opponent is ahead of mining right now. Look at the income right now. You can see that Whiplash is mining more because he's on 2 bases. And now Whiplash does know. He did see that the Void Ray was coming out. You can kind of see the edge of the Void Ray there around the Stargate. So he knows that it's going to be a Void Ray from his opponent. So you can see that he's throwing down Spores and Spines at his natural expansion. Any going down in the main? None going down in the main quite yet, but the first Void Ray's out on the map now, and there's a couple of sentries here as well. Mothership Core once again moving out and getting into an aggressive position, and now we are up to 5 gateways, so Puck is ready to put some serious pressure back on his opponent right now. The Void Ray is now coming in here, starting to deal some damage to the Spine Crawler, actually. He's not actually dealing damage to the Spore Crawler, but he's out of range of the Spine, so now he's just going to be pulling back. And, oh, there's some Lings that are moving around the map here, but there's a good number of sentries here. With some good force fields, he might be able to hold this off for a little bit, but he needs to get some more units here warped. A beautiful force field, actually, from Puck there, as he manages to protect all of his sentries with just using 1 force field. Now the Void Rays are going to be pulling back here, so he's got 2 Void Rays. No more Void Rays coming out here, but there are going to be a whole lot of Warp Gate units now coming out here for Puck, as the second pylon is now coming down here. Oh, but the Lings coming around from the back end to try to focus down some of these units. Nice force field going down. Puck is doing such a fantastic job with his force fields. Every time, just like 1 or 2 force fields does not overreact. Does not want to overreact right now. But so many Lings are now out on the field here for Whiplash, and more being produced. You see more on the production tab right now, as all these Lings are going to get a good surround here, but he can't win this fight. I mean, there are 2 Void Rays in the mix here, and these Void Rays are going to eventually pick off all these Lings, even if these gateway units go down. And look at that, those Void Rays dealing so much damage. These units are all 0-0 in upgrades, but Whiplash is losing a whole lot of Zerglings here. All the sentries now have gone down. But Puck's in a good position here to start to apply some pressure to his opponent. Now, his opponent has 1 Spine Crawler here and a couple of Spores here. Needs to be a little bit careful. 4 Queens are currently out here for Whiplash, but the Harvester count is now favoring Puck, and still no natural expansion going down here for Puck. He is completely focused on doing damage here, so is he going to be all in? I do not know. It certainly looks like it at this point, as we don't see any expansion going down here. And it looks like he's still not opting to throw down any, but the Void Rays are actually going to go into the main right now. There's only 1 Spore, 2 Spores to be able to defend in the main, but I don't know that those Spores, they're so far away from each other. This Void Ray, yeah, 2 Void Rays could definitely take down a Spore Crawler, and yep, looks like that is going to go down, and now he's going to be able to come off and start to pick off the Queen. All the Queens are going to have to pull back into the main, and in the meantime, some of these units are coming in here for an engagement, and all the Lings trying to get a good surround here, but he's losing a lot to these Zealots. Zealots are just really good against Zerglings. More Zealots being warped in right now as 1. Oh no, a little bit of miscontrol there from Puck as he loses both of the Void Rays, and now Puck is in a little bit of a scary position here. He needs to kind of get his expansion up. Those were kind of critical, and now we can see that now Whiplash is just trying to buy time right now. He's just trying to get up as many Spines. He knows that he got rid of all the Void Rays, so he knows he's in a fairly safe position here. If he can just buy time until these Spine Crawlers are up, he's going to be fine. There's nothing he has to worry about at all. Now, he's still continuing to produce a lot of Lings, but this is a lot of Spores that are going up right now, and I don't think that Puck is going to be able to break this with this number of Queens up right now. I think he's going to be in a good spot, but nice force fields going down there, trapping a whole bunch of Lings on this side of the force field. He manages to get quite a few Ling kills and then just pulls back, having only taken some shield damage and losing a Zealot or two. Notice, looks like finally he's going to go to opt to take that natural expansion there for Puck. So, Whiplash trying to go for the counterattack there, but some force fields go down. He manages to get a few Ling kills there, but he sees that his opponent is going around, and I think, yeah, he's just going to have to recall back home. And with that, yeah, his whole army is going to recall back to his Nexus, and he's going to be able to get out here in time to defend that Nexus, I hope. Oh god, that's actually a lot of Lings that are coming in here, and this army isn't going to get here in time. He may actually be forced to cancel this once. I don't think he can actually hold that. Yep, he's going to be forced to cancel that, but now he's just going to have to rebuild it. There's nothing else he can do. Rebuilding that right now, and you can see that Whiplash is going to be opting to take a third as well. So far, Harvester count right now still favoring Puck. Puck's just been ahead all game long, but again, like I said before, the economy of Whiplash is better, despite having the lower worker count. And now it looks like Whiplash going to be pulling back here to be taking down both of these pylons, and they will go down. And this third expansion going to be going down here, which Puck does see. Puck is aware of this expansion going down here, and actually it looks like he's going to be moving out here to try to get aggressive once again. But Whiplash does see this in his vision. He sees that this army is going to be moving out here, and oh, that probe goes down. Not so good losing that probe there. He needs to be trying to keep every little bit that he can right now at this point, because Puck is in kind of a weird position. This is kind of a weird state in the game where both players have kind of not really been able to do the builds they want to do, and they're both kind of in a funny spot. And ooh, nice positioning here by these pylons here. So he's just going to be able to, yeah, force field and keep all of his units on the inside here. Just going to be able to warp Zealots on the outside there. And in the meantime, his entire army is getting into position. He's starting to focus down the destructible rocks, and no, he's just going to go in and force a cancel on that third, because all the defense right now is all sitting at the natural expansion here. So yeah, there's going to be a forced cancel that is going to go down on that. And in the meantime, the Nexus for Puck is going up. So now Puck is going to be an okay spot. Now he's transferring some workers down here, so he's going to be able to get into a good spot. There are some Lings that are going to try to come in here and try to pick off a few probes, but I don't think they're going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. They might get one or two. I'm actually surprised that Puck is losing that many probes. He shouldn't have lost that many probes there, but he is kind of worried about this army at the front. He does manage to trap one queen. One queen does go down there, and that queen had a lot of energy too, so that's a nice pickoff. But there are so many queens out here for Whiplash right now. In the main, we see that Lair Tech finally now being started here for Whiplash here at the 16-minute mark. Roach Warren's down as well, so and we do see 6 roaches on the way. So he's going to opt to go for roaches here pretty soon. But in the meantime, the Scouting Phoenix is going to go into the main and going to be able to scout what his opponent's doing. Does he see? No, doesn't see anything quite yet. There we go. Now he's going to be seeing absolutely everything. Even sees the Evo chamber going down, the lair, sees the hatchery going down, and now Puck is fully saturated on 2 bases, so he's about to be at even saturation. His opponent, Whiplash, has been mining for a lot longer, and oh, another queen gets caught on the outside of those force fields. He's going to continue to force field it, or transfuse it rather, but it looks like he's actually going to manage to save it. Wow. Nice little trade there for Whiplash for sure, because some Zealots, quite a few Zealots were lost there by Puck. So he's in a pretty good spot here. So now Puck, I'm surprised he's sitting here. He's being really, really careful to stay right with his Mothership Core, because he needs to be able to teleport back home, and there we go. Teleport going down, and he is just going to be going right back home. And now Puck is a little bit down in the supply, but he's in a reasonable spot right now. 45 Harvesters to 49. Whiplash is ahead, and he's been mining on this natural expansion for a lot longer than Puck has. But being matched base is a nice position for Puck to be in. As we can see, the main is pretty much saturated, so it's pretty much out of resources, so Puck is just going to be forced to take a third here pretty soon, and yeah, there we do see that the third is now coming down, and now we see that the robotics facility has come up, and we're seeing Immortals come out because he knows that his opponent's going for roaches. We see the Forge is currently up researching ground weapons +1. We see Blink coming out here from Puck, as well as the Void Rays. So this is going to be an interesting little mix here from Puck, where he's going to be going for quite a variety of things. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's going to be very strong defensively. He's going to be able to hold off a whole lot of attacks from his opponent right now. With that Void Ray, it's going to add a whole lot of damage. The Sentries, of course, allowing him to force field off all the Lings and Roaches, and of course the Immortal going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to the Roaches as well, as long as they're nice and behind force fields. And it looks like Whiplash is going to get a little bit aggressive here. We do see that he's about to have his Roach speed done. His Hydralisk Den is up right now, and he's getting the Grooved Spines. That's the range upgrade for the Hydralisk, so he's going to be going for Hydralisk here pretty soon, and he does send a Ling down here ahead of time to scout that third, so he knows his opponent's going for the third. Phoenix going up into the main right now, once again scouting absolutely everything that his opponent is doing, and we do see third and fourth going down here for Whiplash. So he's going to be double expanding here because he knows he's a little bit slightly behind on econ because his opponent is getting up this third, and matched bases is not the way you want to be against a Protoss player as a Zerg. So now, in the base of Puck, I'm actually surprised that I'm not seeing more Immortals going down on the production tab right now. So far, only 2 Immortals are out on the field right now, and he's not making any more at this point in time. We do see +2 ground weapons coming up, and we do see Charge just now being researched here. And there we go, another Void Ray coming out as well here for Puck. But Whiplash has been sitting on this kind of low-tech army for quite a while, so he's going to need to start teching up here pretty soon. Yeah, we do see that the Hive is now on the way, most likely going to be seeing not Infestors. Doesn't look like he's actually going to be going for Enduring Locust either. Oh, that's actually interesting. He put his Enduring Locusts on the S hotkey. That's not a bad place to have it. And free pylon pickup there by Whiplash, and now he's just going to be really defensive, and it looks like this game has finally stabilized. Wow, Whiplash actually going immediately for a 5th base here. He's actually feeling pretty confident about his position right now because he knows he's got the fast mobile army, so he knows he's in a pretty good spot. But now the Hydralisks are out on the field, and they have been scouted as well. The Hydralisk speed upgrade now coming down, 2nd evolution chamber coming down, as well as the +1 missile attacks is now coming up, and there's the Hive now coming down. What are we going to see out of that? But 5 Vipers now coming out onto the field here for Whiplash, so he's going to be able to pull back some of those units, the most critical units being Void Rays here. He wants to pull back those Void Rays, pull the Immortals out of the army, and that would be really, 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 really strong, because this army, without those really, really high DPS units, is just not going to be nearly as good against this kind of composition that we're seeing out of Whiplash here. Now this 4th base is now up and running here for Whiplash, and if we check out the Harvester count, 56 Harvesters to 76 favoring Whiplash. So he's definitely in a good spot. If there's one criticism I have to give Whiplash right now, it's that his creep spread is not what it should be right now. Right now his creep spread's been pushed back, but he's trying to make up for it. You can see that he's trying to get out creep spread as quick as he can. He really needs it. He really needs to be able to connect his bases with creep as much as possible. We see that the Robotics Bay has now come down. We see that the Templar Archives, looks like Puck just opting to go for absolutely everything. Doesn't have a specific counter in mind right now, but he is continuing to get out more Void Rays. We see Colossi now coming out onto the field, as well as more upgrades. 4th just now going down here for Puck as well. But this army from Whiplash is starting to look really, really scary. He is maxed at 200. There's a whole lot of Hydras in this army, and he's got a lot of Vipers with a whole lot of energy. Each of these Vipers can abduct about, I think, 2 times, is that correct? 75 energy. Yeah, almost 3 times. Almost 3 times per Viper if they're at full energy when the engagement starts here. They can pull 2 times, and then they have to wait just a little bit before they can go for a 3rd time. But this army of Puck is now moving out. Nice force fields going down on the ramp there, forcing all these units up there. But these Hydralisks deal so much damage right now. All the units now being pulled out of the army here. Wow, look at those pulls there from Whiplash as all of the Void Rays go down and the Colossus. And now Puck is going to have to retreat out of here. He cannot stay in here and fight this kind of army. Against Hydralisks, force fields are just not that good, because if you're the range of the Stalkers is, you can see here they have a range 6 range, and if we check out the Hydralisk range is also range 6. So basically, even with force fields, if your Stalkers are able to shoot his army is able to shoot you. So you need to be careful here about how he cuts up that army. And nice Blinding Cloud going down all over that army right now, forcing that army into a weird position here. He's now having to fight in this weird position back here. More force fields going down here to trap some units here, but it looks like he's going to be able to push this attack back. But we're just getting a quick remax here from Whiplash as we see more Roaches and Hydras just coming across the map right now. And where those Vipers go, yeah, those Vipers are going to be pulling back here to try to start sapping some energy off of something. They need to start consuming something. It looks like they're just going to be going for these Spine Crawlers. Don't know if I like the option to go for Spine Crawlers. You're definitely going to be needing those later, but it looks like he's going to try to come in here and force a cancel there. But nice Storm goes down there for Puck as he is now adding in the High Templar into the mix. He's got, wow, 6 High Templar currently into the mix of his army right now, but he's currently only sitting at 130 supply. He lost all of his high supply units. He lost his Colossus. which he's now opting not to make any more of, and he lost his Void Rays, which also he's not opting to make any more of. So this is actually really, really interesting. +3 ground weapons now coming up as well. We never even had the extended Thermal Lance go down. We see more gateways going down, so it looks like he's just going to be transitioning into a Templar composition, a Templar-based composition here for Puck. And oh no, one Immortal gets caught out of position here, as now Whiplash is being forced to pull back right now as the entire army of VTWhiplash is about to go into the natural expansion here. So Puck trying to find a good position here in which to engage here. His force fields need to be good, and his storms need to be really, really good. He also needs, if he can get feedbacks down on those Vipers, that's going to be absolutely fantastic for him. Storm's trying to go down all over the place right now, but both players being really, really careful. I actually kind of like this decision here by Puck, because now it's really, really hard for these Vipers to be effective. There's really not any specific units for these Vipers to be able to pull out. They've just got a Blinding Cloud. That's pretty much it. Yeah, you can see he's pulling Sentries now. He's pulling Immortals. It's just not as strong. And now the Psy Storms are going down all over that army right now, and now Puck's in a position where he can fight pretty cost efficiently as long as he can get some really good storms off. So he's actually in a pretty good spot here. The 4th base has been saved up. He's now sending in some Zealots on this side as well as on this side right now. There was a Zealot counterattack that I missed where he was warping in from this pylon down here. Managed to pick off that base, and now look at that. While he pulls all of Whiplash's units over to this side of the map, he's sending another group of Zealots over to this side of the map, meanwhile keeping the main part of his army here in a position where he can be defensive to his 4th and to his natural here. Nice play here by Puck, for sure. He's focusing down this hatchery, but so many transfuses are going to be going down on that hatchery, and he's going to be in a good spot. Ultralisks now coming out onto the field for the Remax for Whiplash. We see lots of Ultras, lots of Lings now coming out onto the field here, and I don't know how that army is going to do. The Ultras do pretty good against the Storms, but the Zerglings will just melt to all those Storms so fast. Oh, and this whole army being caught out of position as all the Archons now coming in here, starting to deal a whole lot of damage, trapping some of these units back here, and oh, it looks like Whiplash is looking to trade some bases here as he's coming in with his Lings, and Ultra's going to be doing a whole lot of damage. He's currently 1-4 in upgrades on his Ultralisks. That's 1-2 on everything else, and oh, nice storm goes down there as Whiplash is just walking through every single one of those storms there. Beautiful storms actually going down all over the place right now, really, really lowering all the health of this entire army. You can see all the units are in the red and in the orange. Nice storms going down there. And he's remaxing on Hydras. We see a lot more Hydras going down there, and with another warp in of Zealots there, looks like that other hatchery is going to go down, and now Whiplash, while he does have the bigger army supply, 177 supply to 160 of Puck right now, he's not in as strong of a position. A lot of this army is in units that are going to die really fast to Storm. The Ultralisks will survive, but the Roaches and the Lings will die really, really fast to this composition, and he's got no economy to back this up. If we look at the saved up resources, there's just not a whole lot for Whiplash. He's not mining here. He's not mining here either. He's got a little bit of mining going on here, but his natural is pretty much mined out, and it looks like there's going to be an engagement going down here as Whiplash is doing a good job catching his opponent out of position here. Psy Storms going down over absolutely everything. Beautiful Psy Storms going down there from Puck as he's able to pretty much do a ton of damage to that army, but once again, Zealots being warped in on the right side of the map. This is brilliant positioning here by Puck. Attacking along the left side and then sending in warp-ins on the right to be able to deal with the expansions over here. And now guess what? As this army pulls back to deal with these 3 Zealots over here, he's going to be able to move forward and be able to deny this expansion once again. This is brilliant positioning here by Puck, and Whiplash really just not handling this the way he should be. And look at this. Yes, now another forced cancel going down on that base. So now Puck is in a fantastic position right now, and he's starting to add the Archons. He's starting to add more Void Rays into the composition again. We see a lot of Immortals coming out as well right now, and it looks like Whiplash is actually just going to opt to go for a counterattack here. God, these Zealots are still dealing damage here on this northern expansion, and Whiplash is just pretty much has no mining. He has no mining for so long right now. What's his worker count? He's still ahead in the worker count, 43 supply to 46, but he's just doesn't have any mining going on. Now, Puck does have this base of mining going on, which is pretty good, but he just got his 4th base established, and he's going to be able to start transferring workers to it. And yeah, the natural is still in decent shape. It's going to be running out here pretty soon, but he's still got a good amount of mining going on there. And now there's just, look at the production tab for Whiplash. He's got absolutely nothing. He's got nothing. He's got 0 money right now. And now some units are going to be, no, just scouting. I thought that was more warp-ins in the main, but no, it looks like Whiplash is just going to have to do with whatever he can with this army, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything with it. He's warping in, or he's what do you call it, birthing? He's warping in. He's birthing lots of infestors right now. He's hatching lots of infestors right now. So those could do it for him. Those are very, very cost-effective units. If he can get off the good fungal growths here, then he's going to be in a good spot here, and it's taking advantage of all the gas that he has now. And Puck is seeing that this army is moving in right now, and he's getting not the greatest positioning here going down, but there are fungals going down over this entire army, and so many fungals going down here, which is allowing the Ultras to deal a lot of damage here. But Nice Storm's going down here for Whiplash, as these pylons are kind of forcing all of these units to just kind of be funneled through this tight little area here, and I think Puck might barely come out on top of this. He's got Archons, more Archons morphing in here too there. They are going to be warping in there, and it looks like, yes, Puck is going to come out on top of that army, and Whiplash is just going to have to not GG and leave out of that game. Oh my god, that was such an epic game. Look at this. I actually really love this. Look at this. He knows that his opponent had Ultralisks, so he started to put down pylons all over the place to create a filter that the Ultralisks can't fit through properly. So it basically strains your opponent's army into these really, really tight, narrow corridors where storms are really, really strong. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant play here by Puck, and that is going to do it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that cast. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button down below. Check out 2-minute tutorials, and that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Couldn't find my GG button again. God, I always lose that thing now. Glitch out.